How are we doing? Really? How? It's like the noise is this way. Why? Why have you packed all the noise makers to one side? That means all that I'm going to say, one side will not hear because they'll be making noise. Eh? How are we all doing? I'm glad to be with you this morning. And I pray that by the close of day today, we'll all be well. Sorry, Marshall. I pray that by the close of day, we'll all be well. Amen. What's your name?
I'm Harris.
You are who?
Michael Harris.
Harris.
Yes, please.
But why are you, your head going down like, be bold now. You were shouting. Why aren't you shouting? One half, eh? Oh, a girl. Hey. Oh, okay. Hey. Oh, a girl. Not a nice or my shoes on. Baby, are you okay? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, normal. Oh, yeah, sure, pa. What's your name?
I'm Michael Harris.
What is your level of education?
I just completed. Yes.
Which SHS?
Um.
Stop shaking. Stop shaking. Be a man. Talk. I'm listening.
Yes.
You just completed. What is that? I just completed.
Christian Methodist. Christian Methodist.
Christian Methodist. What
Yes.
course did you offer?
Visual art.
Visual arts.
Yes, please.
Really? So what do you hope to do after SS? You just completed.
Yes, please.
What do you hope
Last year.
to do?
Architect.
You want to be an architect?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, please.
So what information do you have about being an architect?
Right now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to do.
Yeah?
I'm not really sure.
You are not sure what you do.
Yes,
or
please.
you don't know how to be an architect. Which is which?
At first, I was
Uh-huh.
wishing to do. At first, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But now I don't know.
Now at second you don't know. Harrison, right?
Yes, please.
Harrison,
Yes, please.
go and have a seat.
Which anyway?
Now it's like some of you are quiet. You are afraid I will call you. Harrison, stand again. If I ask you that who are you, what can you tell me? Who is Harrison? I'm waiting. Who are you?
I'm Michael Harris.
Who are you?
Please.
Who are you?
I'm Michael Harris, please.
Who are you? Who are you?
I'm a child of God.
Eh?
I'm a child of God.
You're a child of God.
Yes, please.
That we all know. I know who God says I am. We all know you're a child of God.
Yes,
Who are you? Who are you?
Please. I'm myself. I'm myself.
You are yourself.
Yes, please.
So who is that myself? Who is myself? There are so many people in this room. If I ask you this question, you can't give me an answer. Who will help him out? Who is bold here to tell me that call me? I'll tell you who I am. Who should I call? I want somebody to sacrifice herself or himself. Who is ready? Who is bold here?
Patrick.
Yeah.
Patrick.
Who? No. I want somebody who will say I want to. Answer. Who will volunteer? You volunteer. Come, my darling. Come. Take the microphone for him. Stand where you feel comfortable. Tell me who you are.
I'm Queen, the girl who wants to end my dream and become someone in the future.
You are Queen, the girl who wants to.
And become someone in the future and what I want to do in life.
Okay, so that is Queen. Okay. Stand there, don't go. You two stand there. You know your problem. If I was with you alone, you could easily tell me who you are. But you know the problem. There are lots of people here watching you, so you can't open up. And your friends are telling you who you are. Even with a child of God, somebody had to tell you for you to tell me that you're a child of God. And some of you, plenty of you here, you don't know who you are. It's your friends who are telling you that you are tall, you are short, you are big, you are this, you are that. Abby? Or do you know who you are? It's just a few of you who would be bold like Queen and say amongst the crowd, I'll stand up and say, this is me. All those sitting here laughing, if I call you to the spot, you all flop like him. Sit down, my darling. Thank you. Give me Psalm 137. Let me check. No, give me Psalm 139. Will we have it here? Give me Psalm 139. From verse 13. I need a bold person to pick a microphone and read for me. Who will read for me? Who are also on sorry? Oh, sorry. Sounds on sorry. Sorry. Koji microphone and read for me. Can we have a simplified version? Can we have a simplified version? Maybe New King James or NLT. The person in the studio is the person going to help us out. NIV, NLT, something simple. Oh, no change. You know what has change number because he doesn't want to read. Are they changing it for me? Or it's been changed? Okay. Read it for me.
Psalm 139, verse 30. For it was you who created my inward parts. Unite me together in my mother's womb. Amen.
Next verse.
I will praise you because I have been remarkably and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. and I know this very well.
Next verse.
My bones were not hidden from you when I was made in secret, when I was formed
When I was formed
in my depths,
in
in the depths of the earth.
16.
Your eyes saw me when I was formless. All my days were written in your book and planned before a single one of them began.
Amen.
Amen.
You can have a seat. Go back to 139, verse 13 again. It says, "For it was you who created my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb." Who was born by a man here? Whose father got pregnant and went through labor and gave birth to you? If your father is the one who... Oh, anybody like that here? Onipa na ama sorry, oh. The person is not in church. Okay, give me the next 14. "I will praise you because I have been remarkably and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, and I know this very well." If you are here and you feel you are a mistake, let me see your hand. You feel you there, you were not created, you were thrown on this earth. You look at the other people's family and you say, "Me cry, see my life." And your friends will tell you, you see yourself. How many people you feel you there, you are a mistake? Is there somebody like that here? Is there somebody like that here? Is there somebody like that here? I heard a yes. Did I hear yes? Is there somebody like that here? So we all agree that God thought of us and God knit us. How many people know what is called knitting? Some of you did it when you were in school, or what we call crocheting. How many people know crocheting? How many people know crocheting? How many people know knitting? Hey, all of you here, you don't know. Eh? But there's no sign that you know. What is crocheting? Have you done some before? You've not done, but you've seen someone do some before. Do you see how they work? Sometimes they have 2 sticks. Sometimes it's just one. You've seen some before. And then it forms into something. Sometimes a bag. Sometimes a tablecloth. Sometimes something on your head. Sometimes what? A socks. Right? How many people have seen some? And you know that anybody who has to knit something should just not get up and say, "I'm going to knit," hoping that as she closes her eyes and does it, it will just turn into something. You have to plan, right? Or you don't plan to knit. And you have an image in your mind. So this verse is trying to tell us that before God created us, he had us in his mind to knit us in a particular way. We will all not be tablecloth. We will all not be bags. We will all not be socks. We will all not be pullover. We will all not be cardigan. But we are all special and unique in our own ways. Do you understand what I just said? Do you all understand what I just said? I want to take it gradual so that you understand. My pastor, how are you? You. Do you understand what I just said? Good. Hey, Phoebe, my darling. How are you? Good. So everybody was knit in a special way. The fact that you see that somebody was knit big into a pullover that I can wear, that doesn't mean that the socks you were knit in for a child to wear to school is not important. Do you get me? If you can know that you are important for a particular youth, you don't get worried that somebody is being used for this and I'm not used for that, so you compete with the person, or you feel because of that you are not special. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Are you here with me? I know some of you might come from homes that to your parents you might be a mistake, and they've said it for you to even hear. And your papa no your papa nanka right? You've heard all those stories. But whether your papa was not good or your mama was not good, whether you are with your grandmother or you are with your great grandmother or you are living with somebody, the main issue is that from your conception, when you were formed in your mother's womb, God thought about you and created you. Do you understand what I said? Do you all understand me? Somebody's sleeping. Did you get what I said? Give me Genesis chapter. How many? Did somebody here come for the singles and married conference? No. Only you. Okay. Give me Genesis chapter 1 from verse 1 to 3. Okay. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. 2. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness covered the surface of the waters, watery deeps, and the Spirit of the Lord was moving over the surface of the waters. 3. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Amen. How many people have read this scripture before? How many people here own a Bible? You own your own Bible. I'll beg of you, if you do anything to make me happy, make sure you get yourself a personal Bible. I'm not saying what you download on the internet. Get yourself a Bible, a written Bible, a book Bible, and put it down and read. Don't put it down for decoration. You see, we watch so much Nigerian movies that we know that when there's an attack, you take your Bible and you do it like you are fighting Kung Fu. For you to be able to fight Kung Fu, that Bible should be in you. So that when something comes against you, you'll be able to take what is in you to fight whatever it is that is coming your way. Like if somebody tells you that you are useless, you are a nobody, at least today you've learned a scripture that has told you that God took time to create you. So you'll be able to tell the person that to you, I might look stupid. To you, I might look like a nobody. But to me, my Bible tells me that God had me in mind and God took time to knit me into something special. For now, I might not look like the pillover that I have to be tomorrow, but gradually, give me time, I would become that pillover and I'll become useful for my generation. Do you understand me? So don't just put the Bible down and expect that as the Bible lies down, the thing will go like this and go into your mind. I don't know. When I was in school, I went to boarding house quite early. We had so many stories. How many people are in boarding house? I don't think anybody is in boarding house here. Oh, the boarders are all in school. You are in boarding house, Phoebe, boarding house. How many people had quiet? How many people in boarding house heard about Miss Gronchia and Papa Sibu and all those things? How many people have heard that before? There's a myth about that. How many people know Ataku's night? Ataku's night there is gone. It's only in my era. How many people heard Miss Gronchia, Miss High Hill? How many people heard of that? You see, I was in boarding house when I was in junior high school. And I remember we used to hear stories. I don't even know where those stories came from. They said sometimes in the middle of the night, when we are all sleeping, some woman will be walking on the veranda and sometimes will come into our dormitories. Then all that you have learned, the woman will be doing it line by line into her head. So by the time you get up, you've forgotten everything that you've learned. You won't learn. You are blaming it on some Madam Crochia that has come. Hey! Stories. When you are in school, you can hear a lot of stories. Stories. And some of you, is all those stories that is clouding your mind and making you refuse to be who God wants you to be. Amen. You know, every woman who gets pregnant goes through 9 months of pregnancy. 9 months. So it means if the woman gets pregnant in January, she gave birth when? When? No, October. If a woman gets pregnant in January, when will she give birth? Okay, to you, you are confused because you feel that it's supposed to be September because September is the ninth month. But at the end of January to February, that will be 1 month. So if it's January 1st, February will be 1, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. That will be the 9th month. Then the woman will give birth. When a woman has sex with a man, and then you are laughing. Some of you, all these things that I'm saying, you know so much about sex, so don't get confused because today I'm talking about sex. Gradually, I'll get there. You're excited. So when a woman has sex with a man, a woman releases what is called an egg. No, a woman doesn't release a sperm. A woman releases an egg. An egg, kosua, or two kosua. So when a woman releases an egg, when the woman sleeps with a man, the man releases a sperm. And a man can release between 20 million to 50 million sperm at a time. But a woman releases one egg every month. Are you here with me? Good. So when a woman releases that one egg, amongst the 20 to 50 million sperms that a man releases, it will take one to fertilize that egg. Are you here with me? So you can imagine all of us in this room trying to run to the main gate. Some will fall, some will collapse, some will not run. But the fastest one would run and get to the gate. So if you are here, it means you were that fastest sperm. You get it? Do you get it? That is why you can't say you were a mistake. Because any of the 20 million, 19.999, whatever it is, could have been, but they didn't. It was you who made it. So you are not a mistake. 1 point. Are you here with me? When that egg meets the sperm, humanly, we don't understand, but science is trying to understand what exactly happens. And we are made to know by scientists that the first thing that is formed when the egg meets the sperm is that it forms like a cell, something very small. But the first thing that forms is the central nervous system from the brain to the spine. As for the spine, it will keep on growing. So over time, you see that a baby in the womb is formed like an animal with a tail. How many people have seen that before? You see that in books, right? So you have it and you have small dots which indicates where the hand should be, where the leg should be. You've all seen that. Good. If at a point, this woman who might be in youth service today decides that I have done wrong and have to abort, this thing that God has taken time to create by creating the child's brain, which is the most important, has to be taken out. And some of you go and take drugs, you go through and they will put metals in between your legs when the thing was enjoyed by two people. You, the woman, will have to lie down and metals will be taken in you, and that thing that has not finished for me will be brought out and killed. Don't get scared. I'm not here to scare you. I just want you to understand so that when you are making decisions, you know what sort of decisions you are making. I hope you are here with me. Good. So there are people who take medicine. So you see, the thing is that nobody can pinpoint the exact day a woman gets pregnant? Nobody. This is what happens. A woman has a menstrual cycle. You all know it because you learn it in JSS, right? You all know that. The boys, or you don't know? You don't know. Then what did you learn in school? Adolescent. And what is adolescent? What is adolescent? So within that growth, what happens? Didn't they teach you what happens? As for men, you have wet dreams. They didn't teach you that. So a woman too goes through what is called menstruation. Did you learn that? Good. That's what you are talking about. So when a woman has a cycle, so let's say a woman sees blood today and she starts bleeding. It will go for maybe 5 days. It will go for 7 days. Then there's a period we call the woman is going through ovulation. Then it will go through another, sometimes you have a cycle of 28 days. Sometimes you have 30 days. Sometimes you have 31, 32 days. After 32 days, you start seeing blood again. So what happens is that if you saw blood on 1st January, and then if you're a 28-day cycle girl, by the 28th of January, you should bleed again. If you're a 30-day girl, by the 30th of January, you should bleed again. If by 2nd of February, you don't see blood, there's a likelihood that as a girl, you are pregnant. And by that 2nd January, that thing that I'm talking about, the brain and the nervous system has been formed. Are you here with me? Did you get me? Are you confused? Correct. That's what I want. You see, when these parts are, and there are some people that might never even feel anything or get to know that they are pregnant until the pregnancy has gone far. Sometimes 3 months, sometimes 5 months. And this baby in the womb would hear sounds. Can hear the sound of the mother. When you talk, it echoes. So when a baby is in your womb, the baby hears the echo. It's like, it's called frequencies. You see the way you are able to catch a wave, radio frequency. That baby hears frequencies. So the baby can identify sounds. Do you get me? The baby has eyes, but the baby cannot see yet. Everything is formed into place, right? In darkness to us. Because at that place, you cannot open and close anytime to see the development of that baby. Do you get me? Good. When a woman gets to 9 months and the time is up, a baby is ready usually by 37 weeks. The baby is ready to come on this earth. So there are some people that maybe if you get pregnant and you have double pregnancy, you have triple pregnancy, you have whatever it is, sometimes the weight gets too much that it will harm the mother. So sometimes they let them take them out early so that the weight will not be too much on the mother or the mother will not lose the pregnancy. Are you here with me? There are some babies too that are so huge that they have to be taken out so that they don't harm the mother. Do you get me? So some of you, your parents went through a lot to bring you on this earth. There are people who have gone through labor and have died. Just like that. Because it's not an easy process. So if you are here, you should know that somebody had to sacrifice a life for a life. Are you here with me? That is why I don't want anybody under any condition to disrespect the woman in whose womb you were carried, and the woman that labored to bring you on this earth. No matter what they do, don't speak against them, because it will affect you as a child. It will affect your tomorrow, because what a woman goes through to bring forth a child is a life and death matter. Let me educate you on this. When a woman is pregnant and she has to give birth, you see this thing here we call hips. and you see it and you admire so much because you want it in sizes, you the men. You see the bones here. When a woman, all the women, you see that you have a bone here. It's called a pelvic bone. It's a bone, oh, a bone. When a woman keep quiet and listen. When a woman gets pregnant and has to give birth, that bone, it has to open up like this. Open. It's a bone, and it opens up before the baby's head can go through the birth canal of the woman. There's an opening. That is why sometimes you see that somebody gives birth and it's like after birth, you see that it's like the hips has added on. She hasn't done anything. It's just the process of birth because she went through labor. That place opened up a little to allow the baby's head through the birth canal. Every baby comes out with a head like this. So when a woman is giving birth and she's screaming and the baby's head is coming up, then it comes like this. Then it's formed. How many people have younger siblings or you've come across children? You realize that when we have children, we say this part of their head is breathing. How many people have seen that? Then our elders will put shea butter and stuff there. Do you know why? If that head is formed before a woman gives birth, the woman cannot give birth. So God did it in such a way that when the baby is coming, that place closes up like this so that the head becomes smaller. So when the woman is in labor and she's pushing, when the head is coming up, it's opening up. That place is opening up. It's opening up. Then the head forms out before the other parts of the body is pushed out. Are you here with me? Do you get me? So when the baby is pushed out, when it comes on earth, it takes time. The maximum is 18 months. Then this part is healed and it becomes hard. Do you understand? It's soft at first. Oh, by now, be careful. I didn't say by 18 years, by 18 months, that's 1 year, 6 months. This place is now healed and becomes solid and becomes hard. Do you all understand me? Good. There's a lot of signs that go, or there's a lot of things that go into us being born and us finding ourselves on this earth. Do you hear me? Do you understand? You see, when a baby is born, we see in the Bible during the singles conference, I thought that God said, let there be light. Whenever a baby is born, the baby has been exposed to a certain level of light. So God said, let there be light, and there was light, and this baby has been born. When the baby is born, the Bible goes on to say darkness, God separated the day from the night. Everything, the baby, there's a cord that the baby feeds from, and that cord has to be cut so that the baby can be independent of the mother, right? You get it? Good. How many of us know the creation story about Adam and Eve? You know that story very well. How many people know it? You know it very well. You can close it and even say it. Do you know Adam and Eve's story? Do you know? Are you sure? Can you tell me about it? Today, I'm doing the service with you. Can you tell me about it? Tell me about Adam and Eve. You go should leave him and let him be. Tell me. Feel free. Don't mind anybody.
Okay, so
you see now you know who you are, so you are. But when they are talking, you don't mind them. At first you'll be shaking. Tell me. Let's talk.
On the first day.
No, Adam and Eve. You know, like just give me a summary of. I don't need you to arrange it.
Adam.
Good.
And he removed Adam's rib.
He removed Adam's rib.
To create Eve.
That's all you know. And then what happened that they left the garden?
God gave them some restrictions.
God gave them some restrictions. Okay.
Not to eat the apple.
The apple.
And they ate it.
And they ate it.
They ate it. So they realized they were Adija. So
Adija. They were naked. They realized they were naked.
So
talk, my dear. I'm talking to you. Oh, that's all that you remember.
Yes.
That's all. Okay, have a seat. You've done well. How many people know the Adam and Eve story? you realize that God told them that there's a particular tree of knowledge that they should not touch, good and evil that they should not touch. And then they ended up eating from the tree, right? And sometimes my question is this: if you know God, that thing will tempt us. Why did you put it there? Abby, don't you also think about it? It's because I hear people saying that Adam's sin has affected everybody. If not for Adam, like, who won't die? Abby. So why is it that God put the thing there? Why? 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 Why is it that God put it there? So why is it that God gave you feelings if He didn't want to explore your feelings? So do you have feelings? When you see the ladies, then your heart will be doing like this. It will be beating. Tinene. Or it will be doing what? You see, I believe in life that the fact that you have teeth in your mouth doesn't mean when you see a dog walking about, you would assume chichinga and want to carry the dog and chew it like that. Abby, the fact that you're a human being, will you get up one day and decide that you want to wear skirts? If you wear skirts, what will happen? You'll be Kobe. Gobe. What's that? Kojobe is here. You see, the fact that as he stands, he say, me, I'm fine. So I want to wear skirts today. That is what I feel like doing. To us, we see it as being what? Inappropriate. I mean, but you know that if he decides to act skits, what you usually see on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok nowadays, we see a lot of guys dressing like, right? If we see it, will we condemn him? We will laugh, right? So it means there's a time and a place for everything, right? Do you all get me? So there's a time and place for this thing. You can have a seat like this. There's a time and place for this thing we call feelings, for what we call sex, for what we call relationship. There's a time and a place for it. Are you here with me? As you are growing, your body is growing. God has placed everything in the right places. You have a mind, you can see, you can perceive, you can understand. You start feeling some way. There are certain guys that you see that your heart misses a beat. It's normal. There are certain ladies that you see that you get confused. It is normal. Some of you too, it's not that you see and you get confused. The foolishness of your friends make you feel as if you'd want to be with somebody when you haven't even decided, because you don't know who you are and you don't value who God has created you to be. You see, most of you here are coming from sometimes broken homes, single parent homes, and you wonder, why is it that as for me, my parents are not together? You know, sometimes some of them, they took a step when they were not supposed to take that step. And now they realize that they took a bad step, so they back out. And you end up being a child of a single parent. You wish you would have your father and your mother in the house, but you came to meet that things were not right. And some of you in your youthful stage, you are taking decisions and you are doing things because people are moving you and telling you, you are a fine girl. Oh, this boy, the way he has been looking at you, I think this boy likes you. I think this girl likes you. I think you are this. I think the boys are giving you fans. Go ahead, you will succeed. Go. Some of you guys are even with friends who are doing cha-cha. Let's see, between the four of us, who would win? And as foolish a girl as you two, after they have told cha-cha on you, and this one has betted 5 CD, this one 10 CD, this one, that is your value. So they've managed to entangle you. You have forgotten your dreams and you have forgotten your aspirations. Let me tell you something. Adam had forgotten the instructions of the Lord concerning one thing. And that caused him to lose everything else. He was comfortable. He was a good man. He had everything till Eve had a conversation with a serpent. And that serpent said, has God said? And some of your friends are telling you, hey, you call yourself a Christian. Who said it's not good to have sex? Sex is good. Hey, let me tell you something. There is nothing wrong with sex. If I tell you that sex is not good, I would have lied to you. There are so many benefits of sex. Sex is good, but sex is good when it's in the confines of a marriage. Sex becomes dangerous when it is outside marriage. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. God told them not to eat that tree because I believe there was a particular time they could have enjoyed that tree when they had come to maturity. And some of you, it takes you to come to maturity to start enjoying sex. But you are so much in a hurry that you are opening your legs and you are opening your zip for every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And very soon you realize that you don't even know who you are. And let me tell you something. Sex is something that, how many people have seen we people and they say, hey, wait there, wabodam. Some of you too, that is what sex has started doing to you. Very soon you become addicted to sex and you can't control your own life. You can't control your own sex. You always have to sleep with somebody. Some of you, you go and you are blamed. You see Abna Koko and you are talking about Abna Koko, but you are here. You are younger than Abna Koko, but you are doing worse than Abna Koko. How many people know Abna Koko? Oh, you don't know her. I see. When you grow, you get to know her. Are you here with me? Have I confused somebody or you are still with me? You still understand what I'm saying? Really? Are you enjoying it or I'm getting you angry? You see, are you here? Can I continue? There is time for everything. There is time a woman gets to maturity. There is time a man gets to maturity. Some of you guys might have a bright future, but your encounter with one lady will let your future be dwindled. How many people know Samson in the Bible? You know the strong man Samson? He had a wife and decided to go for a prostitute. After going for the prostitute, he was enticed and addicted to this thing that a prostitute can give me. And he went on further to be with a Delilah, not knowing that as for that Delilah was a trap. And some of you, if you don't take time, you think that I've done it once, nothing happened. I've done it twice, nothing happened. The third time, I've even told her to go and take this medicine. The baby was aborted, nothing happened. The fourth time, that lady might die and you'll be the cause. And your future will be at stake. And some of you ladies too, you feel you are shewaga. You are in love. Your feelings are running helter-skelter in your leg, your head. And when everybody is sleeping, you 12 o'clock, you are sneaking out of the house to go and meet a man. Then what feelings in can't you get? That you have to sneak out when everybody is asleep to risk your relationship with your parents. Why can't you just wait? What is it about waiting that if you've heard stories how that you feel that this is the time that I have to try it? Some of you have your future. Let me tell you something. People will not be front to tell us the truth. But some of our parents, they had so much future ahead of them. But their encounters with sexual sin and sexual immorality stopped them. So now they are in places they do. You see, sometimes your parents are not insulting you because they want to insult you. They feel that you are the one that stopped them. But it is not you. As for you, God created you special. But it is what they did that stopped them. It is not you. So they end up dumping their frustrations on you. You are a mistake. That's your idiot of a father. That your grandmother is insulting you. Your mother is insulting you. Your aunties are insulting you because now it's like you've become a burden. Ask yourself, do I want my next generation to become a burden like me? Or I want to make a difference in my life? You say, if you don't know who you are and you don't love yourself, everything can go through your mind and you accept it just the way, like that. because somebody said you are beautiful. Yes, you are beautiful. Know that you are beautiful. Does that mean I'm trying to say it's wrong to go into a relationship? No. Get to know the opposite sex. Have fun, talk, chat. But when it comes to the tree of life that is in between your leg, keep it shut. Because if you mess with it, it will mess with you. I promise you. The thing in between your legs, which is in the middle of the garden God created and took time to create, if you mess with it, it will mess with you. Let me tell you something. This thing in between your legs can breed so many sick. There are 200 plus sexually transmitted diseases that we get day in and day out, and we don't know. How many people have heard of cervical cancer before? How many people have heard of cervical cancer? You see, the thing that closes the womb of every woman is called the cervix. That's what opens when a woman is about to give birth, and it's always tight when a woman is not pregnant. It opens when there is sex to allow the sperm to enter to fertilize the woman's egg. That thing is like the entrance of a tap. It opens and it closes. If you have sex with a man who has not been circumcised, how many people know when I say a man who has not been circumcised? How many people understand it? In our local language, we say koteboto, right? And let me tell you something. There are so many foreign countries now that don't believe in circumcising men. In Germany, 90% of even 99% of the men are not circumcised because they believe that it is pain to the baby, so they don't do it. They'll tell you that when you grow and you want to do it, then they circumcise you. But at that stage, you cannot do it. Good. Scientists are beginning to say that if a man who has not been circumcised has sex with you, you see, because there is false skin, there's a lot of dirt if the man doesn't bath well. And some of you, even without koteboto, you don't bath well. Your boxers, you wear it 4 times. Sometimes 1 week, sometimes 3 weeks, you are wearing the same boxers. It is only when you feel you have a girlfriend, you want to go and have sex with her, that you wear new boxers. And you, this girl, you have cleaned up, and this man is going to enter you and penetrate you with his dirty whatever it is, which you might not know, because there are certain bacteria on a man's penis that you will not see physically. So that dirt enters into your woman, and then it begins to eat into your cervix. So you sleep with some of you. Let me tell you, boys, there's a sickness, a sexually transmitted disease you can get from a woman. You know what it does to you? It causes your penis to shrink. As I've said it, when you get data, go and Google it and see. You come and tell me that is the truth. It causes your penis to shrink. So as people are praying and using things for it to come out, your own is becoming small. And you feel that somebody has scared you. Nobody has scared you. It's because you slept with a Delilah. Are you here or have I scared somebody? I haven't scared you. You are very sure. So I can continue. I'll be leaving very soon. Just give me like 5 minutes. You see, sometimes we feel that certain things are too far away from us. Like we hear people talking about HIV/AIDS. That one there is far. Oh, as for this one, I can use condom. We know you know how to use condom. No problem. But condom, they to me pie. And some of you ladies, all those condoms that they are using on you is giving you what is called UTI, urinary tract infection. It's giving you infections. So, so you are standing and you are doing this. Wow. You are always doing this. It's like you are not dancing. You know that somewhere is itching you. So you have all the skills and then you are jumping. Somewhere is itching you. So that place has become red. You stand and you do this, you do this. Why do you take yourself through all this mess? If you could have just waited and gotten into the institution of marriage when you know that we are for each other. So I'll be able to inspect and know certain things when things are going wrong. Why do you have to explore so much? And what shows that this person you are giving yourself to would even be there for you? Some of you, let me tell you something. It's not only about the women. Some of you guys, you have a bright future, but a Delilah has been sent your way to stop you. And you feel that, oh, they're now pale. The young girls like you, and everybody, the girls are fighting over me. Continue, the girls are fighting, but there is a Delilah you cannot miss. And that Delilah will take your strength away, will take your peace away, will take your education away, and you will block you from your future. So instead of becoming an architect, now you are a shoe shine boy. And then people see you and say, this boy, I went to church with him. He looked so promising. It looked like he had a future. What happened to him? You had an encounter with Delilah that sold your destiny. And now you are shining shoe. And you sit and you say, "Share, me pa time and I'm a brand." Yes, we know. But what happened? Are you people getting me? Or you are not? There is one disease we get from sex called hepatitis B. And it is one dangerous disease. It can kill you and you have no symptom. Hepatitis B. If you are given hepatitis B through sex, that disease travels into your liver. Your liver is placed at your right rib cage here, this part, your right side. That is where your liver is. That disease travels through your body and is stored in your liver. So the function of the liver in your body is supposed to take toxins out of your body. It's supposed to produce bile and everything. The food you've eaten is supposed to separate it from the ones that is good for the blood, and the rest is supposed to take it away through your poop and all those things. When this thing affects your liver becomes scarred. So if your liver is supposed to be, you see, have you seen somebody with balls? You see, sometimes you have acne on our face. Sometimes, so it's like the liver has spots or boils, pompo, all over the liver. And that liver now becomes weak. The liver is an organ in the body that's supposed to be able to recreate itself. There's so many things in our body that God made it in such a way that there are times that when we have diseases over time, sometimes over a year and two, that organ is able to modify itself and come back to normal, even without treatment. Hepatitis B affects your liver, and your liver cannot function and renew itself. So as it stays on, sometimes it can stay on you for 10 years, 13 years. Very soon, you start struggling. Your back, you can't walk. It's like there's pain. They might even tell you have ulcer. Maybe it's not ulcer. You go and do further tests. They realize that it's hepatitis B. If they don't see it early, you would have what is called cancer of the liver. Cancer of the liver. And that is a death sentence. There's no coming back. And then you realize that all the future and all your dreams has been cut short because of one night with Delilah. One night of eating an apple because a serpent told you that, why don't you just enjoy it? Just enjoy yourself. Have fun. Then they're mad. You are dying. You are killing yourself and you are killing your future. Let me tell you something. If you value yourself very well, you will know who to open your legs for or open your zip for. If you don't value yourself, you just do it with anybody for the sake of fans and title. There are some of you are growing up and you are seeing people tagging themselves. Me, I've been with 40 this day, I've been with 3. Continue. Body counts is the latest thing. Now it seems like we have an award with body count. There is nothing. That's the deception of the serpent, telling you that body count is nothing. Not telling you that whatever it is that you are doing with body count, there's something that is in darkness, that is within your body, that is deteriorating because of body count. And that thing, you might not see it on your outside. It will take time, but gradually that thing is eating you up and is killing you. Some of you don't know anything about your sexuality, but you're exploring sex. The sad thing is that you can't talk to your parents about it. Yes, that's why the church is there. But even with church, be careful who you talk to. Hey, Asamabao, can I leave? Oyem Shisho. Listen, I'm not here to frighten you. Listen, I'm not here to frighten you. I'm not here to frighten you. I'm here to educate you. So that when you know how to value yourself, you know that there are some things that I have to learn to wait for the right time. If you value yourself, you know when to wait for the right time. How many people can you imagine giving birth to a baby, and because the milk has become expensive, or you are not having breast milk, you decide to give the baby banku at 1 month old? Can you imagine? Let me tell you a story. There was a lady who went to give birth at the hospital I usually go. And this lady has struggled to get a child. She has struggled. She has done a couple of IVFs and stuff like that. And then finally, she had a child. And when she had the child, her mother-in-law came to visit her at the hospital. She went through what is called cesarean operation. She had a C-section. She was cut and the baby was brought out to protect her and the child. So after the C-section, because you've been given medication to paralyze you, she has to sleep for some time, for some 12 hours or so that when the medication calms down, before you come back to yourself and stuff like that. So as this lady was lying down, her mother-in-law came and said, the baby is crying. This is a fresh baby that has been born in less than 12 hours. So the mother-in-law was sitting there and said, the daughter-in-law is sleeping too much and the baby too is crying. Without asking anybody or knowing anything, the mother-in-law took a bottle of Belaqua, took the baby's bottle, took SMA and mixed it. And you know what she said? Because the mother will not be able to wake up very soon, she has to do it thick, so that when the baby drinks it, the baby will be full, precope, so that she won't cry. And she makes this thing very heavy. But you see, the baby who is less than 12 months old, the muscles of the stomach is not yet ready for food. Even if you have to give that baby SMA, it's supposed to be very little and very light. Very, very light. When you go, you understand some of these things. Very light. Very little. But this woman, let's say instead of taking 1 spoon, this woman took like 6 spoons with a little water, mixed it very thick into the baby's bottle, picked the baby up, gave it to the baby sucked it. You see, every baby is born being able to suck. It's a normal tendency that a baby learns from the womb. There are some babies that even suck their tongue from the womb before they come out. So it's normal. So this baby took in all the milk and the mother-in-law put the baby down. Only for a while they realized that it's like the baby was convulsing, everything. The mother-in-law picked her bag and left. The nurses came, hey, what's happening? They realized that there was milk coming from the baby's nose everywhere. Now the ears, the baby was foaming. They tried to take this baby to intensive care. The baby died. Can you imagine a woman who has been looking for a child for so long, losing a child? And they had to investigate, otherwise the hospital would be in trouble. So they had to go back to CCTV cameras and check. Then they called the mother-in-law and said, when you came on, said the baby was hungry, so I gave the baby milk. How did you prepare the milk? She told them, and they realized that it was the milk that the baby gave the mother-in-law. The milk that the mother-in-law gave the baby that caused the baby to die. The lady was asthmatic. She couldn't take it. She struggled, and she later joined the baby. She died. She died because she couldn't take it. Let's learn to protect ourselves. Let's learn. Let me tell you something. This world is a very happy place to be. At the same time, it's a very dangerous place to be. Don't wish for shortcuts. It is God that sustains us on earth. Without God, you are nobody. And without wisdom, you are nobody. You can know God and not have wisdom. It's the fear of the Lord that is the beginning of the wisdom. And you can only fear God when you understand his dictates and his principles. Some of you, you know God. You know there is a God, but you don't fear him because you don't know his instruction. You don't read, you don't get to know him. You don't have a personal relationship with God. And because of that, you feel yourself that you are so dirty and you are nobody. The family you are coming from is just there. Everybody is like that. So there's nothing wrong with it. Can you decide today that as for me, I value the life God has given me? I have come to realize that God didn't just throw me on this earth. He had times and seasons. He decided to put my kidney at a particular place. He decided to put my liver at a particular place, my nose at a particular place. He didn't just throw everything together. And because of that, I will value myself and the life God has given to me and protect myself and my sexuality till the time is right. You can have fun, but be wise. You can have a boyfriend, but be wise. You can have a girlfriend, but be wise. Sneaking out at night does not do anything for you. Having phone sex does not do anything for you. The medicine that people are introducing to you to take, and that is a spermicide, it will let your sperms be immobile. You can't impregnate a woman. You don't know what you are doing to yourself. You see, when you are not able to ask questions, you would take things like, it's not everything that is on the internet that is true. Let me be frank with you. It's not everything on the internet that is true. How many people have been seeing hacks on the internet? They said there's a hack. Somebody put coal in something and it became diamond. Then they'll do all these things. They say it's a hack. If you go and try it, you realize that it's not true. It's not everything that you see out there that is real. As youth, as young people, let's fear God. Let's value ourselves. And let's look at the bigger picture of our tomorrow. And let's not make wrong decisions now. Otherwise, the effect it will have on our lives and our families. You feel that when you die, nobody will miss you. Me, I'll miss you, so don't die. Don't kill yourself. Don't belittle yourself. The world is waiting for your manifestation. There's something unique that God made, that it is only you that can make it happen. Sometimes it's just you dancing. Sometimes it is just you singing. Sometimes, let me tell you something. I'm a product of a teenage mother. My mother was raped. She didn't go to sleep with somebody. She went for a party and she was raped. I am a product of a teenage mother. I could have looked down on myself. My mother could have looked down on herself. Let me tell you something. My mother is the director of a hospital in the USA. She has 12 hospitals under her. She has a master. She has a PhD. She gave back, but she still went back to school. And after me, my mother was never able to give birth. She's a married woman. She has everything in this world, but I'm her only child. What if my mother had decided that she would have aborted me? And some of you, when you have sex and they make you abort it, that might be your last on this earth. Today, my mother sees me and she's so proud. And she thanks God that she didn't make the mistake others made. What if I had also messed up and said that I'm a mistake, so let me continue being a mistake? Some of you, that's what you are doing. I'm a mistake, so I'll continue to let myself be a mistake in my generation. But I decided not to let myself be a mistake. I decided to make myself an example to my generation. If I did it, you seated here, you can also do it. Ally? You can also make a difference. The world is waiting for you to one day stand and hold a microphone like I'm doing today, and telling them that it would be well. You can put your life right and you can become somebody in the future. Put certain things on hold now. Hold on to God. Value yourself. If you value yourself, you let people take advantage of you. Value yourself. That's mine. You see, it's not even about the sex. Value yourself. Value this body that you have. Value it to the extent that it was special. Don't just give it to anybody. And I believe that if you can put this at the back of your mind, there is nothing in this world that you cannot conquer. The storms will come. You would have attacks. You have battles. Friends will tell you that you are a fool. Friends will tell you you are a mistake. Let them tell you you are a mistake. But one day when you stand to speak, they will know that you are not a mistake, but God was preparing something in you. Listen, I went to one of the best schools, Achimota School, right? I went to Achimota Primary School. My grandmother was the headmistress. So almost everybody on campus knew me. You pass everywhere, everybody knows me. When I decided to do the work of God, I moved out. Now people put my posters up. I have a friend at Ashasi University. Anytime she puts my posters up, then her directors and things say, oh, I know her. She was my mate at Achimota. I know her. She was my mate at Lagos. I know her. She was at... What if I had become like everybody else? Maybe they came from homes that were not like mine. I was raised by my grandmother. Maybe they came from a home that they had their mother and their father together. But maybe what I know now and my influence now cannot be compared to theirs, because I decided to wait and look up to the God who created me and to value my life and my tomorrow. Today, if you take God serious and value yourself, your life, and your tomorrow, I believe you will stand one day and say, I thank the God of Bridge Ministries, and I thank the God I serve for making my story different in my family. Are you here with me? Who wants their story to be different? Who wants to write a different history when it comes to them? That their children, you see, we hear stories of so many people who have made it, right? Sometimes you go to their background and it's so nasty, but they decided that as for me, I'll rewrite the story of this generation or of my family. And you seated here, you can do it. Only God knows why he chose you to come to this church and to hear this message this day. There are some who were supposed to be here, they didn't come. But as for you, you don't even know why you came to church. You didn't want to, but you came. So maybe you'll be the one that God will use to rewrite the history of your family. Don't give up and don't mess up. If you mess up, you mess up with thousands of lives that has to come after you. Don't mess up. Don't give up. And let your concentration and your focus be on the God that has created you and the God you serve. Shall we be on our feet? I hope you all understood what I said today. I want you to go close your eyes and say a word of prayer to God today. That I might have messed up. I might have eaten that apple. I might have messed up. Lord, I might have departed from the Garden of Eden. But Lord, give me another chance to make things right in my life. Lord, I know I have looked down on myself throughout my life. I feel I'm a nobody. I feel I'm useless. But Lord, give me another chance. Let me value my life and the life that you have given me. Let me embrace your love and let me know that I'm special in your sight. That is why I find myself on this earth. Say a prayer. Pray. It is about you. I wish I can pray for you, but there are certain decisions you have to take them on your own. I can't take that decision for you. Pray to God. Have a personal relationship with God. Tell God something. That let today mark a difference in my life. Let things be different. Let me understand who I am. The woman you created me to be. The man you created me to be. Amongst all the noise and all the catastrophe, let me be different. And let me rewrite history in my family and in my generation. Father, I thank you for the lives that are gathered here. I thank you for the word that you have used me to project to them. I pray that you shall protect these lives. Let your love overshadow these ones. Make a difference in their lives. Let them embrace your glory. Let them embrace your love. Let them embrace your knowledge. Let them know that it is possible with you. Speak to them.